Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Question number 63. Film of the lumbar spine. To reduce the space between second and third lumbar vertebra with loss of clarity of the end plates, what investigation most likely to help and make a diagnosis? MRI. Because to see patient has back pain, paralysis, and cytos, we have to use MRI scan. And so, yes, sanity. Question number 64. Which feature on HRCT would make the diagnosis of cystic fibrosis more likely than Williams-Campbell syndrome? Mucus plugging. Which feature on HRCT will make the diagnosis of cystic fibrosis more likely than Williams-Campbell syndrome? Mucus plugging. 65. Paragraph of the pelvis shows flaring of the iliac wings with flaring of the acetabular roof and decreased acetabular and iliac angles, giving a round iliac index. This associated elongated and tapering of the ischia. These pelvic features which seen in which condition? Down syndrome. To flaring angle. Okay. On radiogram of the pelvis, there is flaring of the iliac wings with flattening of the acetabular roof and decreased acetabular iliac angles, given an abnormal index angle. There is associated elongation and tapering of the ischia. The pelvic feature of which condition? Down syndrome. The hints are that there is flaring of the iliac wings and flattening of the acetabular roof. And then they also tell you about abnormal iliac index. So diagnose Down syndrome. 66. New baby check. Ultrasound shows crescent-shaped lesion is into the outer table of the skull. The mass is most likely to be which of the following? Cephalohematoma. Firm and tense. In the big MCQ, they will tell you that the mass is also firm and tense. New baby check. Ultrasound shows crescent-shaped lesion is into the outer table of the skull. Mass is most likely to be which of the following? Cephalohematoma. 7. During a querying ultrasound scan of the following, which most strongly suggests that the appearances are due to germinal matrix hemorrhage rather than periventricular echoplalia? The hyperechoic change are anterior to the chordothalamic groove. The during cranial ultrasound scan, which suggests the appearances are due to germinal matrix hemorrhage rather than periventricular echoplalia? The hyperechoic changes are anterior to the chordothalamic groove. So that's why we can say that this is germinal matrix hemorrhage and not periventricular echoplalia. Question 68. On plain radiographs of the pediatric long bones, osteomalacia may manifest all of the following: increased tuberculosis. In pediatric long bones, osteomalacia may manifest all of the following, but which? Increased tuberculosis. Osteomalacia does not show increased tuberculosis. Question 69. Which of the following contains the most common underlying etiology for interception in childhood? Viral gastroenteritis. Most common etiology for interception in childhood? Viral gastroenteritis. Question number 670. Which sequence is best to evaluate the temporal bones for signs of mesial temporal sclerosis? Corner T2. Which sequence best to evaluate temporal bones for signs of mesial temporal sclerosis? Corner T2. 71. 14-year-old overweight boy. Radiographs show mild proximal femur osteopenia, an ill-defined area of increased opacity in the proximal epiphysis, widening of the growth plate, and small epiphysis. Most likely diagnosed slipped outer femoral epiphysis. The 14-year-old overweight boy. Radiographs of mild proximal femur osteopenia, ill-defined area of increased opacity in the proximal epiphysis, widening of the growth plate, and small epiphysis. Most likely diagnosis: slipped upper femoral epiphysis. We can get disruption of clean line and Hilden renal line. Disruption of clean line, Shenton line, and Hilden renal line. So diagnose slip upper femoral epiphysis. The horseshoe kidney. Question 72. A 15-month-old girl is following witnessed injection of hearing aid battery. Where is the most appropriate imaging strategy? Abdominal radiograph and chest radiograph. Abdominal radiograph is negative. 15-month-old girl ingests hearing aid battery. Most appropriate imaging strategy? Abdominal radiograph and chest radiograph. Abdominal radiograph is negative. Question number 73. A 13-year-old girl in lateral ovarian atrophy is having ovarian atrophy. The atrophic ovary has stipple appearance calcification. Most likely explanation: amputated ovary. The ovary has stipple calcification. causes amputated ovary. Ovary with stable calcification causes amputated ovary. Ovary with stable calcification causes amputated ovary. Question 74. Neonate respiratory distress, chest radiograph shows pneumothorax, which is treated by aspiration. What investigation should be considered? Renal ultrasound scan. Neonate respiratory distress, chest radiograph shows pneumothorax, which is treated by aspiration. What investigation should be considered? Renal ultrasound scan. Because when neonate has respiratory distress, then it's also associated with kidney anomalies, renal anomalies. Question 75. Which of the following features on ultrasound scan is most suggestive of heart or kidney? Merely oriented renal long axis. Which of the following features on our sound scan is suggestive of heart or kidney? Medially oriented renal long axis. Medially oriented renal long axis. Question 76. Which type of fracture is most commonly seen in the presentation of non-extended anterior child? A. Diaphyseal fracture. Which fracture shows non-extended anterior child? Diaphyseal fracture. Which shows non-extended anterior child? Diaphyseal transverse fracture. Here in the German matrix hemorrhage, to differentiate it from leukomalacia, it is seen anterior to the thalamic groove. If you look at it sideways, then the German matrix hemorrhage will be seen as anterior to the thalamic groove. The brain, this is where ventricle, thalamic groove, and German matrix hemorrhage. It is seen anterior to the thalamic groove, so it's actually visible. It's differentiated from leukoencephalomalacia, which is usually not anterior to the thalamic groove. Anterior means this is anterior. '77. What feature on chest radiograph would make respiratory distress syndrome of the newborn more likely than recurrent aspiration syndrome? Air bronchogram. RDS shows small lungs and air bronchogram. Which feature on chest radiograph would make respiratory distress syndrome on newborn more likely than recurrent aspiration syndrome? Air bronchogram. 78. German matrix hemorrhage is identified on a cranial ultrasound scan of a neonate. Which of the following imaging features confirm worst prognosis? Intraparenchymal hemorrhage. German matrix hemorrhage, worst prognosis is intraparenchymal hemorrhage. German matrix hemorrhage, worst prognosis is intraparenchymal extension of hemorrhage. 79. On antenatal ultrasound scan, oligohydramnios, normalization of urinary bladder, and bilateral enlarged hyperechoic kidneys require renal failure in shows in the first month of life. An older sibling, aged 5 years, has established portal hypertension. Parents are phenotypically normal. What are the odds of further offspring of having same parents having same disease? 1.1 in 4. Let's memorize these incidents and odds on MCQs. First patient has a disease in which there are bilateral enlarged hyperechoic kidneys and renal failure within the first month of life. Most likely odds of further offspring to having same disease 1 in 4. 80. A 3-week-old baby boy with persistent jaundice, phenobarbital augmented digitation 99 and labeled IDA cholecystography shows good hepatic activity in 5 minutes, but no bile cleared into the bowel on cleared image of 24 hours, most likely diagnosed biliary atresia. HETA scan shows good hepatic activity in 5 minutes, but no bile clearance in the bowel on cleared image of 24 hours, most likely diagnosed biliary atresia.